If you need a reason to stick around and watch this video, let me tell you the combo I found, which is really brutal. So the -2 makes a creature a treasure. It's very unique because it doesn't just kill the creature so they can cast it from the command zone again. It turns it into a treasure. However, if you have Khan the Great Creator out, he says, activated abilities of artifacts your opponent's control can't be activated. So if this guy's out, you kill their commander and it becomes a treasure. They can no longer do anything with that treasure as long as Khan is on the battlefield. So apart from that absolutely brutal combo where essentially, or whatever you want to call it, synergy, where you essentially disable the commander for the rest of the game as long as you have Khan, the rest of the deck is a very powerful mono black discard shell because it just needs it to survive. The rest of the decks you'll face when using this will be very high tier decks for some reason. I'm not 100% sure why, because the commander we're using is like 6 mana and it's going to take a while to get out, but you're going to have a hard time. So that's why there's so much discard in the deck. So the typical synergy with discard is Waste Not and Tiny Bones. When you make your opponents discard, you'll get value based on which one of these is out. If you make them discard end a turn, this one draws you a card. Waste Not, you get a thing based on what you discard. So you discard creature, you get a zombie. Discard a land, you get 2 black. Discard non-creature, non-land, draw a card. If this is out early and you get to discard, you can actually ramp into some big things depending on what discard effects you have. If you use something like Arterial Flow, they can actually discard lands, which is the common type people discard anyway. But if they know that they're going to give you 4 black, they might not discard the lands, and they might give you something else, because that 4 black can accelerate you into casting the Vraska. So it's like an interesting mind game. You've obviously got Linear the Veil, who's one of the best cards in the entire game, and Devril as well to help just mitigate some of the value your opponent's going to get. It's going to be tough, not going to lie. I don't know why, but some decks just get put in certain queues, and this is one of them. You got all the classic stuff: Thoughtseize, Inquisition, Fatal Push, Duress, Dark Ritual, Cut Down. All these things will keep you safe-ish early on, and then once you reach the end game, we're going to have Aetherflux Reservoir and Bellis' Citadel to close the game out. You all know that's my favourite 2-hit combo. If you've been here before, you'll know that, and that's just my signature at this point. I don't think I've seen any other creators who loves this as much as me. Fantastic. And if you're facing opposing control decks and they still are surviving, this will take them out in the late game. Absolutely, completely. And the only downside with this is this doesn't synergize with Tiny Bones and Waste Not because they don't discard the cards. They exile them all, which is a bit sad. But that, if you do resolve this, they're pretty much screwed. There's only a couple ways they can deal with this, like exiling the spell on stack, or bouncing the spell on the stack, or returning the spell to your hand. And yeah, it's just a really fun deck. Staff of Completion is fantastic. This is pushed. This is such a push card. It just allows you to do so many things. And yeah, the deck list will be below. So don't forget, have Khan out. Make his passive a thing. Well, his passive's just always there. -2 on their commander. And they can't use their commander for as long as you have Khan out, because it'll be trapped as a treasure forever. As soon as Khan dies, they can do it. But yeah, keep Khan alive, and there you go. Don't forget to like and sub, and you can always donate to my channel, because it really helps. You can check out my Ko-fi donations page below, or my Amazon wish list, which is filled with things that you can help me get. Let's get into the video. Oh, this is just a fantastic hand versus Alish Norn. And yeah, Alish Norn, honestly, I don't know if it's just me, but she doesn't scare me. Like, I think she's actually probably better than 99 because by herself, she's just she's just a big body, right? 4/7 Vigilance is probably more powerful than the ability sometimes, because in this deck, I don't really feel like I have that many ETBs, if any, really. Because we're not running many creatures, which is nice in a way because it also makes us have protection from a lot of creature removal. Farmhand gives them a plains. So imagine they had Alish Norn there. They would have got 2 plains, but again, I'm just not that scared. Maybe I'll eat my words, but what I'm more worried about is that they kill the Phyrexian Arena, because that is very important. We need this to keep going. There's a lot of ways White can kill this, so I suppose at the... Okay, so they don't kill it here. Man, if a Phyrexian Arena goes like 2 or 3 turns without being dealt with, they didn't attack. That's very peculiar, I have to say. Argyle's Bloodfast. And, okay, let's look in the hand and see what we're dealing with then. What have we got? Okay, so in our deck, Swords doesn't do anything to us. Angel, don't really care. This thing, probably quite annoying. Because it just gives them loads and loads of Evangels. And we don't have board wipe in hand, so let's kill that. Yeah, because if they gain life, I'm not going for life, trust me. Panamonican. So only one creature out, we've just got so much time to work with. Arterial Flow, we can make them discard 2 cards, that's going to be... So if we make them do that, I guess they're going to lose the Swords. The Swords is definitely going. That's for sure. Swords and the Angel, so they kept a mystery card. So next turn they're going to get Elish Norn, ETB, no triggers, and they get a 1-1 as well. So we want to save these removal for Elish Norn. So I guess for now we're just going to draw some cards. So we're losing life. Oh wow. Okay. Thought Distortion in this game is pretty dead. This is great against control. Against aggro builds like this, not so great. But it's good to have the contingency plan there, just in case. Languish. Well, Languish certainly does the job, doesn't it? I think we might as well do that, right? Heals these 2 residual threats. And Elish Norn will die. Which do we use? I think we Power Word Kill. Because if they get a good enchantment later, then we're going to need this to deal with it. So as you can see, the Phyrexian Arena is just propelling us into unbelievable levels here. Because we have, obviously, 3 cards in our hand that we probably shouldn't have. Liliana? And a land. Right, so we want to kill the god Eternal. We're gonna lose a lot of life. Unless, of course, we go for the Liliana minus on it. And then... Okay, so we're going to have to kill this, we lose 0. Which is good with me. There's now 6 cards in the graveyard, so Lily can minus killing the Oketro. It feels very dirty. But there you go. They will get the Oketro back eventually, it's just... You know. And the Tiny Bones, I'm not that bothered about yet, so let's draw a card, because I want to hit my lands. Okay, so we got land for next turn. Restoration of Igandria gives them another plains. They've got a lot of things in their deck that gives them plains, but yeah. If we ever get Aetherworks... and not Aetherworks, the thing that gives us any form of life, we should be... Oh, they're going to get any card into their hand, but the issue with that is... if it's a non-creature, they're going to lose it with the Thought Distortion. So if they're going to get a Farewell, they're going to say farewell to the Farewell. Go on, get a Farewell, my lad. Or is it going to be Elspeth Conquers Death? Either way, I don't think it's going to be a creature, because... unless the creature is the Knight. What? Cold Steel Heart? What? They went for Cold Steel Heart. Why? That's very strange. Because we can just make them discard that now. I am really confused, guys. Why did they go for that? Okay, we'll go for Vraska then. Ah, now, here's the cool thing. We're going to proliferate the Restoration here. Because they can't discard any cards to get anything back here. They will get the 3-4 in their turn, but they're going to get neither of those things back. And then we'll go for the Evolved Sleeper and Tiny Bones. Okay. I think we're in a pretty darn good situation here. Obviously, Farewell would be very bad. That is the worst case scenario right now. So they're going to get another blocker. But they've got no cards in hand and we have a Tiny Bones. It's a bit weird. Not going to lie, that is a bit weird. So we're going to turn the Elish Norn into a treasure, which is quite funny. As if we have 5 swamps in hand. -3. We could just kill her off to kill the Architect. Because we've got, how many? We've got 7. I think we just do that. They've got nothing to discard. Let's get rid of any threats they could potentially have. And then we can use the ability to make them lose 10. And just pass a turn here. So yeah, just, if you didn't know, Tiny Bone says each opponent with no card loses 10. So we can, you know, probably just kill them with this. Also, if you're playing a discard deck and you only draw lands, it's probably better to bank them. I wouldn't play them because it makes me think you've got a good card. But yeah, absolutely own an Alice Norn there. Feels pretty darn good. Opponent goes first with Judith, and I'm not massive in this hand but we do have the Meat Hook Massacre, so I will keep it because they're going to spam the field with creatures every single turn. Okay, so I think we'll go with the Mind Spike first. Next turn, Gate, and then the Tower, and we'll go from there. If we can at least give everything -2/-2, then at least we can deal with the Judith and the Diagraph Ghoul here. Okay, so as long as we see everything with 2 or less toughness, it's going to be fine. Cool, okay. I mean, next turn, we're only going to have X=1. Oh, goodness me, that's not good. So they're going to draw a lot of cards here. And we're going to take 3 from Mogram Tutor. Okay. Yeah, that's annoying, but I think we're going to get Languish. Languish, or what's the CMC we've got here? So we've got 1, 1, 3. Well, we're not going to get Languish then, we're going to get Extinction Event, because if they go for Judith, we wreck them. Because if we exile them, they're not going to deal the 1 damage to us. I have a feeling, so if they have any kind of... Oh wow, this is literal dream scenario here. So we go to 6, which is pretty scary, and they're going to have 8 cards in hand. We'll have to see how we do from here on out. Play a land, okay. Let's see if we can get away with absolute murder here. Nice. It's a pretty good hit. I think if it wasn't for the Gix, I wouldn't be worried, but, you know, he essentially refilled their hand with threats. So now scary things like haste is what's going to annoy me. Play 1 big creature, we can deal with it. Oh, as if they had the haster. Sure. Phoenix of Ash. And another creature. Oh, that's pretty rough. Although we do have the Meat Hook Massacre. They can cast that from the graveyard, but there's nothing to exile. So they can't actually get this out yet. Robber, oh my goodness, every single attack with haste. Okay. Down to 2. I mean, pretty clean, have to say. So we lose to Mono Rakdos aggro. Fair enough. Okay, we go first against Goshen Tai. We might have a chance because we have the Extract the Truth. This can deal with 1 enchantment. The only downside is Goshen Tai creates 2 enchantments when it comes out. So they're going to get to choose. Okay, we'll kill 1 shrine. That's a good start. I don't like the fact they have the Conquer's Death, but not much we can do about that. We do have another way to make them discard, so, but sadly we don't have the discard synergy right now. So that's not any form of a ramp, so it should be fine. It'll give a key to the archive here. I think Counterspell is going to be pretty useful if we can keep the key to the archive alive. If not, that's going to be annoying. But a random shrine from among the top 7. Okay. So we could go for Cruelty. They still only have 4 mana next turn. Let's go for Cruelty, because it also means that in the following turn, we get to tutor. Okay, killing a Goshen type player is just, it's just a great feeling because it's so powerful. Okay, opponent goes first with Tyvar Kel, Elves, Golgari Elves. They go first, which is scary. Okay, we do have some answers. Let's see what we can get rid of with the Mind Spike. They might not have any non-creature spells. They do. Guardian Project is a really good hit, because that basically makes their deck swing for a lot more oomph. We can't target the Paradise Druid, but if they do tap it out, we can kill it with the Grasp. Okay, let's make them want to untap it, because otherwise they'll get an Elf. Yep, and we get them. I love it. Yeah, because if we did, let's say we killed that before Tyvar chose it as a target, they would have just made an Elf warrior. And then now, we can deal with the Tyvar as well. This is very clean. So far. So yeah, sack effects are just a really nice way to get around certain stipulations. Jasper, Sentinel and 2 black open for a kill spell. So they will be able to kill the Dread Presence, which is very sad. So I think we're just going to go for the Argyle's Bloodfast, because otherwise we don't get a single activation out of the Presence, which is something we need. Especially because we've got the Citadel. So we want them to tap out if we want to go for the Presence. Okay, so they've got 1 mana open. Although this actually taps for another colour, doesn't it? So maybe... we'll see. Okay, so now they've tapped out for 1 black remaining. Okay, Liliana, that can deal with stuff later on as well. We need a board wipe desperately. So let's go for the Dread Presence. And I think we're going to kill the Elvish Warmaster, because that is pretty scary. So in their turn, they're going to have to at least kill the Dread Presence, or they'll lose more things. Unless they want to do other things. Beast Whisperer, wow. I feel like we're getting away with murder here. 2 damage. Let's kill the mana source there. So we did that without actually breaking a sweat, because now we can go for the Citadel as well. Or we could even go for the Thought Distortion. Which is better. Let's go for the Thought Distortion. We get rid of the Heartless Act. Wow, we got 2 hits there. We've got Feed the Swarm as well. Okay, that's great. The only downside is they will be able to go for the Archdruid drawing a card. And then we need to kill this. They went for the land play before the Archdruid. Because if they... That's probably bad, because if they've got a tap land here, then... Yeah, we'll see. I don't feel that safe now they've got the Archdruid, but... Go for the Citadel. Citadel works really well with the Dread Presence. So, as you can see, the Swamp here... Wow, we're going to be able to do so much stuff. So, the Solemn comes down and gets us another Swamp as well. This is dirty. Oh, and a Languish. I think we just win the... Oh, no, but that's going to go away, isn't it? Okay. So, that's fun. And we can kill the Shepherd. Oh, my goodness. That was mental. Okay, this is a tough matchup because if they resolve Kaya, I don't know if we're going to be able to kill it. Because we don't really have any creatures. Dark Ritual is pretty damn good, I have to say, but you know, we want to save it for following turns. If they start discarding our cards, then we could be in trouble, but I mean, okay, they're going to ramp. We'll see what they want to do here. Vraska's Fall. Sacrifice a creature or planeswalker. Well, that's a way around it. That's pretty good. Go for Waste Knot here. So now we're looking for any kind of discard effects. It will be nice when we have the Elspeth's Nightmare if they cast any small creatures. Don't know if they will though. They probably have a lot of just board wipes themselves, removal, Mind Stone. They get 3, 4, 5. They're getting close, I have to say. Oh, they're going to kill the Waste Knot. Are they going to kill it? I mean, to be honest, if they do, I'm not that bothered just because we don't have any synergy with it right now. Campbell. Okay, 3, 4, 5, sure. We've got the cut down. So we can deal with Campbell. We'll take 2 if we do that. But maybe playing the Painful Bond is more useful. Heliod. Right, let's cut him down before they get any counters. Let's stop that silliness happening. And also, by getting rid of the Campbell now, it means that the Vraska's Fall gets more effective later on. Because remember, when we make someone sack something, they get to choose. Opponents choosing things is never good for us. We could have also gone for the Elspeth's Nightmare. Yeah, maybe that was a silly move, to be honest. I just didn't want them to get the counter. But in hindsight, given that we missed a land drop as well. 4, 5, 6. So they'll be able to go for Kaya next turn. Let's see what we can discard here. And okay, we'll get rid of the Shoulders Edict, which means we get to draw a card. Davriel. So I think we just go for the Davriel here. I can't believe that. I just honestly wasn't expecting to win that, but I guess discard is just pretty rough, isn't it? Did you know that you can help my channel by watching another one of my videos? Go ahead, you know you want to.